Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about possibly one of the best AI stocks for 2023. Now, talking about artificial intelligence, if you're new to the channel, this is Data Dispatch, where we cover everything regarding artificial intelligence, and especially looking at the financial markets, particularly looking at AI stocks. Now, AI stocks have really started to accumulate a large interest from potential and speculative investors trying to play and get ahead of the future of this AI development. With artificial intelligence, we've really seen these AI companies like OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. You've seen Midjourney that have really taken the world by storm and have really kind of taken over the internet regarding its use and capabilities. Now, AI is continuing to evolve at a very quick rate, even in the beginning of 2023 here, as it's really became viral across the internet. Particularly, the stock that we're going to be talking about today actually has a decent amount of experience in AI and has been working with it for a long time before the beginning of the year. They have some good revenue metrics, some great profit margins, and some good predictions about the future. We're going to be talking about this, and of course, I'm not a financial advisor, so please take everything I say with a grain of salt and do your own research before making an investment decision. Now, this is Palantir Technologies, PLTR. Let's pop it up on the screen for you here. And talking about Palantir Technologies, currently they're at a price of $15.79. We're going to be looking into the metrics and a little bit about their history. If we look into this article here from the Motley Fool, they're talking about how AI investment is really picking up in steam and people are trying to include this into their portfolios. Now, the great thing about PLTR is that they really did integrate AI from the start. A bullish perspective from there is that they're one of the fundamental pioneers behind artificial intelligence. And what they work to do is really to accumulate a lot of data and use these AI algorithms to report back on that data. In the fact that looking at their digital landscape, they can basically collect and sort through more data than humans could in real time and use generating decisions. And they use this data analytics program that can sort better and provide information to make the best decisions in a timely manner. Now, this is really important if we think about this for large companies that have copious amounts of data and they need to gain information from that and looking and analyzing that data, and they don't have enough time for a human to possibly go through it. What's an AI software that could possibly be used as a product to give you information on all that data? There you go, you got PLTR. Now, the company software here, they actually can crunch mountains of lightning speeds and of data that uses AI and also gives great user recommendations. This was actually first developed to help government agencies, but now has reached the public sector, which is great for companies that want to utilize it, utilizing for sites like clinical trials, asset management, and identifying supply chain problems or pinch points. Now, the question is, especially with a successful company and more of a newer company with speculations, what's the product that PLTR does offer? The product that PLT does offer is what they call right here this AIP, this artificial intelligence platform, and an LLM. If you guys haven't heard of what an LLM is, that's basically what ChatGPT is, a large language model. Many companies are creating these large language models right now as we speak to incorporate it into their companies. PLTR here has their own LLM that allows users to ask these chatbots a question and get an answers. The great thing is that clients that utilize the software can deploy these on their company's websites and on their products to receive actionable insights. Now, talking about this, the CEO has said that the demand for its products surpasses anything that he has seen in the last 20 years. Great bullish analysis there. And basically in 2021, before the technology, like I said, they're a fundamental pioneer in this, the company held the largest market share in revenue in AI software. So the results, they aren't spectacular now, however, with their revenue that is 18% year over year. But hey, if they're not spectacular now, is this the best time to get in? Basically, before everybody is talking about it, that's the big question, kind of catching the wave before it peaks. Now, talking about that in the second quarter, it doesn't sound like a great outlook we're seeing with some predictions. While it's not massively profitable. However, it has now posted 2 consecutive quarters of 0.01 earnings per share and over expectations. In the grand scheme of things, that's not really a ton. In looking at its price to earnings ratio, those are usually really overvalued in some of these tech stocks. But looking at some of the key analytics and possibly as a possible addition to the portfolio, just looking over the last year here, you can see that PLTR has actually performed quite well in the actual current market that we're in. You can see right here, starting kind of in the beginning of the year, PLTR was sitting at about $7.22, now up basically double at about $16 as we speak, and at $15.29. Now, looking at their financials is important, and not just looking at the price and the price to earning ratios. Yes, those do have a purpose, but looking at the revenues, we've seen over the years they have increased in their total revenues, and also what's important is that they've increased in their total gross profit. What this really does tell me, and can tell people that are looking into it, is that they are starting to increase in the production and in the products that they are selling, and this in terms means the growth of the company is continuing to increase. And what we've seen with that is that we've seen incomes that are increasing throughout the actual stock. Now, where we do see the only drawback and the con here is the valuation, and it does get a D- here on Seeking Alpha. That gives you a lot of analytics regarding the stocks, basically saying here, hey, the price to earnings ratio is pretty high. Just saying the price of the stock and what's valued at is pretty high compared to its earnings. But basically, playing devil's advocate, is that most tech stocks do typically have a higher price to earnings ratio, as there's a lot of people that are speculating on its future potential, giving it more of a higher valuation. Now, talking about the last quarter earnings, they did beat those expectations, which is great. When we see expectations being beat, especially with something that has a little more criticism towards it, we see that PLTR is basically outweighing those predictions and could have more of a bullish future ahead of itself. So interesting to see here as a possible option to add to the portfolio. I'm going to be looking at PLTR, maybe giving it more of an in-depth research before I personally do. You'll want to hear that basically PLTR, it's along all these AI stocks that are being heavily researched right now, and AI as a whole is going to have a large impact on how all the other AI stocks are affected. I'm just talking about the whole industry as a whole, as we're going to see more regulations, questions on how AI is going to be incorporated into our human day life, rather, as a replacement or a tool. That's the big question. Talking about key terms like the singularity, we can get off on different topics. Make sure you check out videos on that in the channel. But regarding the success of AI in the future, is this a phase right now that will die out, or is this something that is really going to make a large technological impact on our human life that could pose to be big returns? So lots of questions to answer there. I hope you guys have a great day. If you have any AI stocks that you want me to check out and do some more research, please let me know down in the comments. I'll definitely take a look at those. But other than that, take care, peace out, and I'll catch you guys later.